Hey there, curious minds. Welcome to Cloud Theorem. I'm Deviated Septum. Today we're reviewing the second edition of the SMOK NOVO, the SMOK NOVO 2. One of my personal favorite things about the SMOK NOVO has been the fact that there's no buttons or settings of any kind that you need to mess with. It's just a pretty straightforward device, and its beauty lies in its simplicity. The SMOK NOVO comes in 8 color options. We've got the black and white, the blue and black, the red and yellow, the 7 color, the green and red, the yellow and purple, and I'm going to be unboxing the blue and brown. The 8th color option is a 7 color splatter. I haven't been able to get my hands on that yet, and to be quite frank with you, I don't think it's a very aesthetically pleasing option. In comparison to the original Novo, the Novo 2 packaging has changed, now coming in the white box. The original Novo used to be a black box. And the same thing goes for the pod replacements that also used to come in a black box. And these products are intended to be used with nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. As always, these products are not intended for minors. For the first time on Cloud Theorem, I'm doing a giveaway. And to qualify, there's a couple of steps you need to take. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Cloud Theorem channel, leave any comment you want in the video, and lastly, please make sure to share the video anywhere on social media. I'll be picking a winner at random, and you'll be able to pick any of the 7 color options I presented earlier. Alright, let's dive in and see what they've upgraded from the original Novo. Just as the original Novo, this also comes with 2 pods, also has an LED indicator, but this time the box contains a mesh pod as well as an MTL pod, and it says it's got an 800 mAh battery. That's a pretty significant jump from the original 450 milliamp battery. Nothing real special about the box. As always, you've got the security code to help authenticate that you actually picked up a genuine SMOK type product. As some of you know, those clones do exist out there. Ooh, SMOK Scratcher. And it looks like you could scratch this to win one of their prizes. First prize is SMOK Novo 2 kit, all colors. Second prize is SMOK Morph 219 kit plus Novo 2 kit and 1 t-shirt and 1 cap. And third prize is 1 SMOK Novo 2 kit. And the way you play this game is you scratch the surface here, and then you follow through the QR code over here to find out if you won. Next, we have an instruction manual. But that's what I'm here for, right? Another verification card, silica pack, micro USB charging cable, and in the box are 2 pods. One is labeled mesh and the other one DC 1.4 mouth to lung. And that's nice because before they didn't label the pods, the information was only listed on the box that the pods came in. I'm gonna be trying the mesh pod because typically mesh has a better reputation for flavor production. The mesh pod contains a 1 ohm coil and it has a 2 milliliter capacity, which is actually the very same capacity that the original Novo pods had. But when you look closer, the original Novo pod here has all sorts of rubbering and cover inside, as well as cotton sticking out on both sides. And the Novo 2 pods look much cleaner without all that extra business in there. Just based on this observation, it looks like the new Novo pods can actually contain more e-liquid. And I'm going to be trying the Novo 2 with a brand new e-liquid. This is from a company called Smoothie. And I think they have a total of 6 flavors. This one is called Awesome, which is apple sour. It says here apples, apples, and more apples. The interesting thing about the Smoothie brand here is not only that they make each flavor in salts as well as freebase e-liquid, but all the flavors also come in ice. So for all you menthol lovers out there, this is a good choice. You can vape this e-liquid in salts or freebase in the very same flavors. But the main reason I picked this e-liquid is because it comes in 20 milligrams, which is not very common in the salt nic game. Personally, I'm a proponent for nicotine reduction, so I'm always going to choose the lowest denominator. I'm definitely getting a nice whiff of the apple flavor directly from the bottle. I could already tell this is probably going to be a really good e-liquid. Just like the original Novo pod, on one side it has a little rubber flap that you just want to pull back and just hold down with your finger while you're pouring e-liquid in there. The first time I put e-liquid in, I like to not fill it completely to the top and just leave a little bit of an air bubble in there. Personally, I think when there's a little air in the pod, it absorbs the e-liquid faster the first time. And anytime you add e-liquid to a brand new pod, you want to let it sit right side up for about 5-10 minutes. And to assist that process, I like to puff on it to help the cotton absorb the e-liquid. And these Novos sort of always come with this plastic cover that you want to remove right off the device. When you do a side-by-side comparison of the original Novo as well as the Novo 2, there's not much differences there. The little LED light is a little bit higher in the Novo 2 than the original Novo. The thickness of the devices are virtually identical, except the original Novo has a charging port on the side, whereas the Novo 2's charging port is at the bottom. No visible difference on the back, except the Novo 2 has a Novo 2 badge, and the original Novo just says Novo. Because the bodies are identical, the old pods are compatible with the new Novo. Here's the old Novo pod. Fits in there pretty snug. And here's the new Novo pods, and it fits the original Novo as well. Looking closer at the Novo 2, I could see it's got a little hole here, whereas the original Novo does not. That's the air intake. The original Novo's air intake was actually through the USB port. I find it interesting that they managed to almost double the battery capacity in the exact same body. However, unfortunately, you still can't stand them up. I've always liked the form factor of the Novo. I don't have massive size hands, but I can almost ghost with it, so you can't really tell what I'm holding in my hand, which gives me the opportunity to use it more discreetly. Just like with the older Novo pods, I've noticed that there's a straight hole right into the pod. There's no membrane protecting the e-liquid, and I could see that pouring out quite easily. And over time, I see the potential of the same sort of issue where the juice seeps out of the pod and into the device. And if that ever happens, you want to make sure to wipe this down as well as inside of the battery. The original Novo was notorious for allowing e-liquid to pass through that little rubber gasket in there and directly inside to the battery. And I personally went through at least 2 devices that way. There's no wrong way to install the pod. Either way, it'll fit. I've let the pod sit with e-liquid inside for about 10 minutes now, so it's now ready for a proper vaping. Quite surprisingly, this thing puts out quite a bit of vapor, and with that there's some really incredible flavor delivery. The Novo 2 has more of a restricting draw to it, which in this case I think is a positive. The original Novo was a little more airy, and this is subjective, but in my personal opinion, I think it almost let too much air in while you're vaping. The original Novo came with a 1.2 ohm coil. The new Novo comes with a 1.0 mesh and a 1.4 watt to lung, and that ohm rating is also a factor in more flavor delivery as well as vapor production. Overall, I'm quite happy with the upgrades of the Novo 2, while still keeping the same size and form factor. And the LED light is also quite helpful. It now shows 3 colors. When it's green, it's going to be 100 to 70% charged, orange would be 70 to 30% battery capacity, and red is 30 to 0. As I mentioned earlier, the original Novo suffered from a pretty serious leak issue, and that e-liquid would come right out of this pod through that hole in the middle and go right inside to that device. And even though I've done my best to clean this thing day in and day out, it still suffers from that issue. In fact, I'm going to show you the first telltale sign of what this device does once that e-liquid seeps inside that battery. Pay close attention. You hear that? Even though I'm not hitting the device, it's still firing after I'm done hitting it. With the original Novo, there was a couple of pod options. You either go with what's included, the 1.2 ohm coil, but there was also a mesh option as well as a ceramic pod. And depending which one of those you use, the device would output 10 to 16 watts, whereas the Novo 2 range is between 6 and 25 watts. Just to compare them side by side, I've got the 1.2 ohm coil in the original Novo and the 1.0 mesh coil in the Novo 2. As you can see, the Novo 2 is putting out significantly more vapor. And with that, of course, there's more flavor. This is the first time I'm using the second version of the Novo, and I'm really hoping they took care of that leaking issue. The other word of caution I want to provide is that the Novo device is really intended for salt-based nicotine e-liquids. I mean, yeah, you could put free-base e-liquid in there, but the problem with that is the free-base e-liquid has a much thinner viscosity. It's just not as thick as salt nicks, so you're a lot more likely to have that leaking problem. Alright, curious minds, that about does it. If you found this useful, make sure to hit that like button and please subscribe to the Cloud Theorem channel. I'll include a link to a 10% off coupon code in the description down below. And with that 10% off, you also get free shipping anywhere in the United States. I'd love to hear your experience with the Novo or any input you have, so make sure to include that in the comments down below. I'm Deviated Septum, you've been watching Cloud Theorem, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.